Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome. Just as usual, waiting on the laptop to catch up. There we are. Wow, that was quick. Usually I have to wait forever for the laptop to decide. I wonder if I'm going to have to use this. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to use that. All right. I'm just wondering if that's going to go away. All right, I guess so. I guess I'm going to have to use, I'll be right back, guys. Hang on, don't go anywhere. Hang on, I'm coming right back. So, I used a spray paint. Okay, all right, it does come off with wet. All right, so I used a spray paint to paint the bear because I like the color of it. But it didn't take the chalk marks with the chalk pencil like I normally do. Hello, everybody. Hi, Tamfen. Not right yet. Hello. Crafting Bear BT, how are you? Welcome. So I did use the chalk marker to make these guide marks because oddly my chalk pencil would not. Oh, now in this one it is. That's random. When I was doing guide marks on this one, it would not take the chalk pencil. Interesting. It is on this side. Odd. Odd. All right. Well, anyways, welcome everybody. Almost knocked over my, thank you for the heart me. Almost knocked over my, so listen, have you guys tried I'm not trying to sell you anything or anything here, but the refreshers from Javi. I'm on a GLP-1, so I lose hair. Let me rephrase that. When I'm not getting enough protein, which is frequently, I lose hair. And I have tried like their coffee. Don't love their coffee. It's not horrible, but it's not my fave. But their refreshers are like, oh my God. So my daughter got a pink lemonade and a blueberry, and they're so good. They're so good. Anyways, welcome everybody. Hello, Connie, Sunflower, Brenda, Mama, Misty. Wow, there's a lot of people coming through, but not hanging out. That's fine. Dot art isn't for everybody. So tonight we're going to paint another one of the bear cutouts that I have. And I'm going to go ahead and get it marked up for us to paint. Not everybody can have good taste. Nope, wrong one. So I am Victoria. I am a registered nurse. Hi, Victoria. I am a registered nurse, and I am also a nurse practitioner student, and I paint mandala style dot art and show people how to do beginner dot art. So welcome. Hi, Tam. How are you? Heather, welcome. So in this particular, tonight, I'm going to do a red color palette, which we've done before, but it's going to have a few modifications. Some of these were really similar in color, but this is the bear cutout. It is from another source, not here on TikTok. If you're interested in bear or animal cutouts, I highly recommend this company. You can message me in the orange box, bottom left-hand corner, and I can get you in the right direction for checking them out. I'm a butt. Heather. So in this particular case, it's not like our rounds. Like, so our normal rounds, right? They're easy to line up. You just take it, you kind of take the stencil, and you're like, oh, yeah, that looks right. Very different with a shape. These are 8 inches, but it's 8 inches from the widest points. Okay? So it's not 8 inches from nose to butt. It's 8 inches from the widest point on the cutout. Okay? So in this case, I'm going to take, this is a little over 2.5 inches. So I'm just going to divide it into like 1, and this is 1.5 to like 1. Sorry. We're going to do 1.5. That looks pretty central. Hi, Aurora Sky. Thank you for the rose BT. And then I'm going to put that over it and line it up. Although I need to move it over here more, because so from here to here is 7, so at about 3.5, so somewhere about here. Because if I don't, then my stencil won't meet end to end. Okay. See? It's weird. My pencil does not want to. It does in some spots, but not all spots. So just marking our guide marks. So where's that at? There we go. I really need to get like a piece of chalk. I'm sure somewhere in my craft box I have a regular piece of chalk. So then just doing the cross guide marks as well. Where is it? There we go. It's kind of hard to see because everything is dark. Oh, there goes the ice maker. It's so weird. Like, I don't understand why the chalk pencil isn't really writing on this, because it is a flat paint. It's not like a satin. But just going on the side of my pencil to it's almost like it's making it glossy or something. I don't know. It's weird. But using the side of my chalk pencil. There we go. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. All right. And then as you can see, it doesn't go all the way to the end. So these guide marks are about a 1/2 inch apart. So I'm just going to go ahead and come in with that extra 1/2 inch. Something, okay, and then in here, actually, let's come up here and do that as well. So 1/2 inch is about here, and then, so it would be about here. Wow, does not want to show up. All right, and we're going to use that guide mark, so 1/2 inch. See what I mean? And then some places it's perfectly fine. All right, and then let's see. So 1/2 inch is there, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So somewhere around there. So this is going to be, we got to turn the ruler this way. All right, so 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. And hello, turkey dog. Half inch, 1/2 inch. And then I need to the nose here, so 1/2 inch, and then it'll be off the nose. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, everybody, we are going to go ahead and mix up a custom color palette. Welcome. I am Victoria. I am a nurse and a nurse practitioner student, and I paint live for my sanity, especially when I am not outdoors or able to get outdoors. This, other than fishing, this is my jam. So normally when I paint like these rounds, I use this multi-surface satin paint. Okay, highly recommend this particular brand. Works great. Your chalk marks go on perfectly fine. Blah blah blah. All of the above. But for this project, I didn't want any brush strokes, so I used a spray paint. Even though it's flat, it was giving me a really hard time getting those chalk marks on. So, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. All right. So for our color palette, the person in Bear Camp, her favorite color is red. So we are going to mix up a custom red palette, kind of using what we did once before. Actually, this was a pretty color with Purple Iris. Purple Iris. There's Purple Iris. So normally when I mix a custom palette, I will take a primary color like this color here and add either a off-white, white, a light gray to get a ombre effect. Red is not that way, because when you add lighter colors, it adds white and it kind of turns it pink. So you don't really want to add those colors. So in this case, we ended up doing, this was True Red. I'm going to use this Tuscan Red. I'm going to use this Deep Burgundy to add to these colors to get a variable color palette of red. I actually did use a sponge. Did not love the way it came out with that. I did not want any like brush strokes in it. So I did try that. And honestly, that was the first one I did. And I don't love the texture. Yeah, and I don't see, Karina, I'm very lazy. I do not want to sand. I don't want to deal with any of that. So for me, as an artist, I feel like if you have to do too much, it's too much for beginners. So for me, spray painting works. It's just this color, I think, was part of the problem. And this wood is like really nice. But yeah, I'm not about sanding and all of that. I mean, look, I have it right here. I don't even want to use it. Hey, Jessica, you're not late, girl. We're not even started yet. I have it right here. So for me, I really believe that when somebody is starting in dot art, there shouldn't be a lot of extra things to do because people want to get started. So, but yeah. But I do not love the sponge. I mean, I use it, but I don't know. I've never bought these particular pieces of wood before, so I don't know if it had something to do with the wood or whatever. But I went ahead and I found this brown that I love. It's like a really dark, almost black brown, and that was the goal I wanted. So, yeah. I mean, but. I mean, it worked. My chalk marks went on. So with this one, I did sand it. Okay. I did sand it. And I used a different, chalk marker. And I like the texture of the wood. I don't like the smooth. So I'm hard to please. Just in a nutshell, I'm very hard to please. So anyways, all right, let's get started. So in this case, our first color is True Red. True Red. Get that in there. I don't know how many times I'm going to use this color palette, but I just filled that up. Now, these are 15 ml paint pots. So, 15 mLs is half an ounce. Let's do the next one, which is Purple Iris. And yeah, we'll do that one. So it's True Red and Purple Iris. So now when you're making a custom palette for red, remember you can't add white to it or gray because you're going to end up with a pinky color. So we don't want to do that. So we're looking for a red, but a deeper red, a variation of red. Adding purple is going to give you that. I know that sounds weird, but you're going to get a deeper, and you got to mix it really good. And oddly, it almost looks like the Tuscan red. I do not. Nope. Thank you for the follow. I don't seal the base coat. If I'm using this, I have zero need to seal the base coat. And this brand. Now, the only reason I am not using it on these is because I didn't want them black. In hindsight, I would probably just use the black next time. Again, I'm not about the extra steps. A lot of people do that, and if you use that base coat by that company, you don't need to. Now, I say that, but you can do whatever you want, right? Like, I feel like there are people that have their own steps, and that is perfectly fine. I just don't want, I'm lazy. I don't want any extra steps. My life is busy enough. Okay, so this is Tuscan Red. I love that color. Look at that. That is so rich. So pretty. So I think what I'm going to do is let's put some Tuscan Red in here and add Heritage Brick to get a little deeper color. This one's got a little, as Judy calls them, paint boogers. I know, and you did tell me that, and I agree. I don't normally use regular paint. I use mostly black. But yes, I feel like if you're going to use like acrylic, so if you're going to use this and paint your base coat, it is a matte finish. So when you have a mistake and you're trying to get it off a matte finish, you may run into issues. Okay, let me add a little more to that Heritage Brick. You got another one? Wow. I sure do. Wow. Again, many of these colors are kind of old. But yes, so if you are using a matte finish, regular paint, And like Jessica said, if you go ahead and coat it with your top coat, removing mistakes can be easier. I've just never done it, so I can't speak to it. Okay. So the person that this is for, she is battling with triple negative, I can't think of all the terms, breast cancer. And I've known her for 6 years now. And when she was first diagnosed with breast cancer, she had a trip to Antarctica planned, and she postponed it. And now she has a new job, and she had to postpone it again. So this is very special. So True Red and Red Spice is going to be the last one I do. But anyways, so long story short, this is kind of a little bit special bear. I'm going to have to do way more red palettes because I've mixed a lot of red. And then what did I say? Red Spice. Red Spice. Hi, BG. Alyssa, thank you for the follow. Let's see. I mixed them together. Oh, okay. So, do you mix them in equal quantities? Like half and half, or what? And are you using like satin varnish? What are you using to mix? Hi everybody, thank you for being here. Just mixing up a custom red color palette. Hopefully I remember exactly what I did so that I can put it in the book. Which we are going to do now. This one is a little orangey. So let me add a little more True Red to it. I want it to be a little more red than that. So the first one is True Red. The next one is True Red with Purple Iris. Then we have Tuscan Red with Heritage Brick. And then this one is True Red with Red Spice. So looking for a red palette. Person's favorite color is red. That's better. Still a little orangey, but that's better. You need a little bit of a lighter color. All right. Even though this page has a little bit of a whatever that is here, I guess we were doing some dots. I'm going to put the palette here. All right. And you probably can't see, so let me move up. Nope, I squeezed the paint on the wood. Oh, you definitely do save time doing that. So no real ratio there. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, so that is the Tuscan Red with Brick Heritage. Then we have the Tuscan Red. And then this is True Red with Purple Iris, which is really a pretty color. I do love that color. And then True Red. So you can see where this one here gets its color from. Even though this is True Red, it definitely has an orange hue to it. So I almost feel like adding the red spice to that is not what I wanted. So I'm going to actually add some deep burgundy to it. To tone that down a little bit. I don't want it orange. I want it more red. So sometimes this is what you have to do when you're trying to make a custom palette. It can take a little bit of time. All right, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's way better. I mean, it's still a little orangey, but it's definitely not as orange as it was before. Oh, hi, Ro. We are working on a red custom palette, and I am going to be painting a wood cutout of a bear. So let me just do a quick note. So this is True Red plus this is Tuscan Red plus, and this was True Red plus, we did Red Spice plus Heritage Brick. And then the first one was True Red plus Purple Iris. If I don't do this now with these a little bit extra, I will forget. And then it was Tuscan Red and Heritage Brick. Sometimes I don't have to do this because it is common, but these reds are very different. Mixing a custom red is not, it's a little difficult, in my opinion. Okay. Got our bear. All right, let's see. Let me look. Anybody? I don't think I missed any. Game Changer. Okay, so there are 58 of you here. I'm going to guess some of you are new. If you're not new, hello. If you're new, say hello in the chat. I'm not kidding. These refreshers are so yummy. I'm so glad I found them. Hello, Ratina. How are you? Welcome. Hi, Ro. So we are going to paint, and I show beginner style dot art. So let me get my tools out. We got our palette ready. Normally when I do custom palettes, it's not as complicated as what I just did. Normally I take a primary color and add white or light gray or buttermilk or something like that to it. But when you're dealing with red, you can't really do that because then you just end up with shades of pink. So we don't really want to do that. We wanted shades of red, which is what we got. Right? Shades of red for someone whose favorite color is red. Hi, Lori. How are you? I have not, Tam. I've heard good things, though. I'm just not, I don't love... Does it taste like tea? Does it taste like iced tea? I'm not an iced tea fan. So if it tastes like iced tea, I'm probably not going to be a fan. Thank you for the love you. Love you so much. I appreciate you. So we have a few community members that are dealing with some stuff. So if you are able to send positive vibes through the internet, many of our community members could probably benefit from just knowing that people are thinking of them. I'm not gonna... Hi, Makita, how are you? Clarissa, thank you for the follow. Not gonna name names unless they want to come and, speak out in the chat. But we do have quite a few family members that have lost family members, are dealing with health issues, just dealing with life. And, we don't get any younger. So if you could keep them in your thoughts, that would be great. Hi, but you're Canadian. Yeah, you need a disclaimer. Tasha's a Canadian too. She's just not here yet. Welcome. No, I get there. Okay. So it doesn't taste like... Why? I wonder why they call them loaded teas. Because I always think they're going to taste like iced tea. And I don't want them to taste like tea. Are they in my shopping cart? They were in my shopping cart. I don't think I ever pulled the trigger. Well, welcome, Makita. We welcome everybody. So thank you for being here. I'm glad you found us in our little part of the TikTok world. So if you're new here, I do teach or show beginner.art. We've done a couple of different things recently. Like we have done, as a matter of fact, we did this last night. This was really fun. This is called cluster dots. Didn't know it was a thing, but it's called cluster dots. That's a new thing for the community. Normally I show how to do beginner.art patterns. Tonight, I am working on a bear because these are for a group of ladies that I will be seeing in September. I know, Dee. Green tea doesn't taste like tea, not like iced tea. So green tea, that's cool. Okay. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, so before I start, I know I get sidetracked. Before I start, I had an idea. So I have one more round, okay, like this. This is an 18-inch round, and I thought, and I had this tiny mirror, I thought it would be so cute to do a scene like something like this. Maybe not like that. Not perfect. Like, I don't want them perfect. Let me raise you guys up. Let's see what you guys can see. Oh, you can't really see everything, can you? Oh, there you go. So I thought it would be fun to do something, you know, with different sized sea turtles and this as kind of like an underwater orb. I don't know. I just thought it would be fun to do something with that. So I'm trying to finish the big project that I have so that I can work on this. I don't know if I'll do like the background like a light blue color or not, but I'm looking forward to doing that. It was kind of one of those things that I was like, ooh, something different. So, all right, let me bring you back down. Okay. So, yeah, so thank you for the follow, Danny. Okay, so if you're new here and you don't know where to start, welcome, because we do kind of go over that. This is a little bit different. Normally we paint on like 6-inch rounds, 4-inch rounds. Sometimes we paint on stones. But I get the most frequent question I get asked is tools. I did find a couple weeks ago on TikTok, there is a kit very similar to what I started with. It comes with a set of dotting tools, a set of acrylic rods, as well as the stencils. And the stencils look like this. Okay. And that's what we use to get our guide marks. Do you need all of that? Not necessarily. Does it help? Absolutely. Thank you for sharing the live. Yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to look, Dee, but you know, I'm always about winging it. Thank you for sharing the live, Makita, and the follow. I don't know. It's probably going to be a little more advanced than like a beginner. But we'll have to see what everybody wants to do. You know how I ask, I ask what everybody wants to do before I just pull the trigger. Although this is something I need to get done, so we are going to use some of tonight's live for this, to get it going. I'm going to just start. Actually, I'm going to use a bigger, so I'm going to use this pink, and I do tell and announce what I'm using because many people will tune into the live recording. So if you're interested in watching recordings and practicing at a later time, let me know in that orange box bottom left-hand corner, and I can get you connected with how to watch the lives. They're unedited, but you can watch them and practice and play around with them. When I do my center dot, I do collect a large amount of paint. Okay? If you have an issue with vision, and I have an astigmatism, so sometimes these give me grief. You may benefit from looking at this particular company and ordering these tools. The white allows you to see exactly where you're going. The acrylic, I can see, but sometimes my dots are a little off. Just saying. I'm not a perfectionist. So as a nurse, you can imagine I'm a type A person. But when I'm painting, I'm very relaxed. This is a time where I just kind of get into like a zone. I'm painting. I am not a perfectionist. I'm not a professional. I am not the best artist out there. I just come on here, show you guys things. And yeah, if you stick around, that's great. Some of you will outgrow me. I've told many people that. You'll outgrow the beginner dot art. I do try to keep it interesting. We try to do different things, but I'm okay with that because I get to come on here and paint no matter who's here. All right, so in this case, I'm going to try and keep you all in the frame. And I'm just going to take the small end of the yellow and I'm going to do small dots around our center dot. And every new dot gets dipped in the paint. The goal is that you do not touch your last dot or the center dot. You're like in a challenge with yourself. This is just a simple Lazy Susan. I don't always use it, but sometimes it's helpful for certain projects. You will get into a rhythm. There is some muscle memory that comes with this. Sometimes I zone into what I'm doing. So if you're in the chat asking a question, give me a second. Sometimes the other community members will answer it for me. Depends on how long it takes me to look up. But I appreciate you all for being here. The follows, the likes, the shares, all of the above. I have my ice maker on. I know y'all can hear it. All right, I try to pause in here so that I can get unfortunately, those two are probably going to bleed together. It's okay though, because by the time all is said and done, what happened here though? I don't know what happened there. Q-tip to the rescue. I'm going to do the best I can. It's a tight spot to fiddle with. So you wet it and you rotate it. And then I'm just going to swirl that in there. I don't know what happened there. I didn't even notice that happened. So we'll come back and we'll do that. And then we'll do really light taps. There we go. And those bled together too. All right, well, we're not going to fiddle with any more of that. I'm in Northeast Pennsylvania. I am in Northeast PA. And then next up, we'll go ahead and I'll use the larger end of the yellow. And we're just kind of going to go down in the color. And now you're probably going to see people do like every other and get fancy. I am not going to do that. I am just going to keep putting dots down. Again, my goal is that they're all the same size, not touching, not running together. Once you get the second row down, you might be able to do the every other and like the spacing. I don't. Listen, I like to paint. I like to enjoy myself. I find it very stressful trying to go in between. Another thing I'd like to point out is I do not paint like anybody else. I paint like Victoria. I paint how I want to. I was telling them, I did do a pop-up live today, and I was saying, you know, I don't ever want to paint like somebody else wants me to paint. I will never compare myself to anybody else. I paint how I want, and that's how it should be. If you're going to ever do like a custom, like say you feel confident in your work and you want to do custom pieces, I would highly encourage you to stick with your custom in the palette, not necessarily in the design because you're never going to make somebody else happy, especially if what they're asking you for isn't something you are normally used to painting. I use this brand. Hi, Alicia. Is it Ali? My daughter's name is Alicia, spelled the same way. Thank you for the follow. I use this brand. However, Makita, if you can't find this brand, that's fine. I want you to find a brand that you have accessible to you. If it's a store brand, I don't care. Whatever you decide to use to practice with, you should stick with one brand of paint so that you can get muscle memory. I would never use this brand, another brand, like 3 different brands. Never. Because each brand of paint has a different consistency and it acts differently. So whatever brand of craft paint you have accessible to you is what I highly recommend you use. And there is quite a bit of a glare, so let's hold it up so you can see it without the glare. Okay? Again, if I am not a perfectionist, again, it is acrylic and it's matte. It is not multi-surface. Yep, acrylic, and it dries matte. The only one that doesn't dry matte is this one, which is what I usually paint the surface with. It has a little bit of a sheen, and then this allows you to remove mistakes way easier. You're welcome. Anytime. You just ask any questions. And that goes for anybody. If you have any questions, ask them. If I don't answer them, I'm probably painting, but... and I'm going to go up one more. And I do have I guess a pattern. How I start mine. There's no real rhyme or reason for it. I just do it this way. I'm going to use the large end of the white. But if you are interested in doing animal shapes like this company that I got these from is really good to work with. Very responsive to my questions. So if you're interested in their information, probably best to shoot me a message here. Again, through that orange box. Just trying to Go around in the circle, keep my dots the same size, same distance apart. But one thing you're going to learn here if you do hang out with us is that I'm very much of, oh, well, we're going to move on. I make mistakes. I don't paint perfect. I'm a beginner at best. I mean, I've been painting for a little while, but I still feel like, you know, I'm not perfect. So every time you're doing a dot, you want to go back in that paint. Okay? You want to go back in that paint. When you are doing walking dots, you don't have to do that. But when you're doing a new dot, and sometimes you have to tap to get a little extra paint off your tool, like I'm doing here. If your dots start to get a little too big, you might need to wipe off your tool, because that happens too. You get a little paint collection on there. So, all right. Now I pause here, right? Because this space is questionable about how many you can get in there, right? So I'm going to just do 2. I'm not gonna, I can always make these bigger. It's much harder to make them go away than it is to make them a little bigger. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Welcome. There are quite a few of you here tonight. Thank you for tuning in. So we are doing this bear cutout. I'm in a red color palette. And now we're going to move on to let's see. We'll move on to a what do I want to do? Do I want to do a, let's see. If we do every other guide mark, all right, we're going to do every other guide mark with the purple acrylic tool. And let's just move to the next color, which is this color here, so number 4. Just going down the palette. Let's see, so this is the top one. So let's just make sure we do top. Okay. And then every other. I'm going to get one more, I'm going to get another paper towel. This one I've already utilized. So, who was it that was saying that, like the blue pop? Hold on. How long will a project? So this, I usually get this one done, I don't know. I feel like the first one we got done in like a 2-hour live. They're not very long. This one, we finished Like this one, we got done in a 2-hour live, or 2.5. Same thing with this one. We did this in 2.5 hours. When we paint like the love stones, so I also paint these heart-shaped rocks that I find in the creeks. So sometimes when we paint these, we'll paint like a 3-inch round. We'll start one in a 2-hour. But I will share that this. So I was working on this today, and I'm going to switch my camera. Hang on a second, because it's hard to see. So I was working on this today, this row here. And so this is 18-inch round. And that took me like 2.5, almost 3 hours. Camera's twisted. I don't know why. This section, the middle section from here, well, I should say from here down, I had already had finished. But this row took me, and that's brush strokes. So that goes usually pretty quick. But it takes a while. Thank you, Makita. Yeah, that's one of my favorite pieces. I started it in December, and it kind of went to the wayside because of school. But I mixed the color palette back up and went to town today and got that going. Hi, Claire. Thank you for the follow. Oh, I guess I should probably put you back down. Nobody really wants to look at our wall. Okay. Now, if you are new to swooshes, okay, these can be a little challenging. And let's start with, I'm going to start with the small end of the yellow, because I'm really not sure how big they need to be. So we're going to come in and I'm going to do a dot. And then we're going to do a swoosh. Now a swoosh is where you take a drop of paint and you literally are going to push it all the way around that dot. Now, this is not something you can rush. This is something where you're pushing that paint around. Now, if you have a lot of paint, you might be able to go a little faster, but sometimes you got to go slow or it's not going to make it all the way around. And you don't want to push too hard. Okay, drop of paint. And you just slowly push it around. Okay. So this is a little different than our normal lives. Our normal lives we're doing either a rock or a round, but because this is something I need to finish by mid-September, I have been taking one live a week and working on getting some of these going. I have, that to my knowledge, I have 8 that need to be done. So, and that one did not really curve quite well. There we go. So you're going to slowly go around. And let me see if I can't fix this. There we go. A little better. Thank you for the follow. Ooh. Nipakata. Welcome, everybody. There's quite a few of you here. Where are you all tuning in from? Every once in a while we get people from New Zealand and Australia and of course all over the US. It is it's 9:03 Eastern Standard Time here in the US. I am in Pennsylvania. But welcome. I am Victoria. I am a registered nurse and a nurse practitioner student, and I paint mandala style dot art because I need a little sanity in my life, and this is a very therapeutic art form. I encourage you, if you are going through something tough in your life, that this might be something you look at doing to take a little time for yourself and paint. These are swooshes. They are not easy. They are challenging. Even though it is a beginner style or a beginner technique, they are not easy. They are something that requires you to pay attention to what you're doing, focus, relax, like that. See? So you need Q-tips. Wet the Q-tip. And you're going to come in and you're going to rotate very slowly towards you. And there you go. Your mistake is gone. All right. We'll go back in here and we'll put that dot there. We'll put this back here. And then we will continue. I hope so, because I got a few more to paint. I really want to do some different shapes. I have to be very conscientious of my spending because, like I said, being a student and not working full time, which is very different for me. Like I was working and pretty much could do and spend whatever I wanted. So this is very weird for me to have to consciously think about my spending. But that being said, I really love these bears. I do love the quality. I really would like to work with this company more. If you're looking for something different to do and you're not familiar with its 24-hour craft, they may or may not be on this platform. I don't know. But I'm looking to become an affiliate through this platform. I'm just waiting. I filled out an application or whatever you want to call it. Oops. But if you check out Betsy, you can see all of their stuff. So if you're new here, we do have to talk in code a lot, which is awful. It's awful that we have to talk in code. with the fear of, getting chastised and penalized on this app. But we do have to talk in code, and I will talk about that. I will die on that hill. If it wasn't for the fact that, like, I can just come on here and paint, I would be on here all the time. But there's so many, like, rules and, like, little things. If you ever decide to go live on this platform, and that's probably why many of you don't, because it's intimidating and it shouldn't be. None of the other platforms are like this. None of the other ones. I will die on this platform, TikTok. You make this hard. You make it so people don't want to come live on your platform. But anyways, I will die on that I will die on that hill. All right, we are going to move on, and we are going to look. I got red all over. I'm going to do some walking dots, and I almost feel like, gosh, I wish I had that red stone. I just took it to the cemetery the other day. I know we had to have used gold in there, right? Or maybe, and what's that other one I like? The maybe rich espresso. What do you think? Gold or rich espresso? It needs something that's not red. So this is rich espresso, and this is glorious gold. Maybe the gold. I think we need a little bling. We need a little bit. So I'm going to do walking dots. So we'll do micro dots in here. No, you know what? First I'm going to do, we're going to do this. We're going to come up here. Okay, and do our triangle. And then that, just to give it a little bit of a break in all of the red. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Like I said, if you're new here, say hi in the chat. Tell us where you're tuning in from. We like new friends. Just doing swooshes. Again, this is a live for beginners. Clearly, because I'm having an issue getting around there. So these are bear cutouts that I got from 24 Hour Crafts. Really good quality, very responsive company. Answered every question I had. Quick turnaround, got the product quickly, which I was a little worried about because I have to have these done by mid-September. reasonably priced, and I say that because I am a nurse practitioner student and I am not working full-time. So when I say reasonably priced, I really mean I feel like their prices were reasonable for the quality, the good quality product. Now, I can only speak for the Bear and what I have the 1/2 inch cut, but I specifically wanted them to be able to stand up. And they messaged me back and said, I think we can do that in the 1/2 inch. We'll actually sand it a little extra for you here at the base on the feet. So, like, I cannot complain about the company. And then I messaged them again about becoming an affiliate. I heard back within a few hours. Had another question about something else and heard back quickly, but all on Betsy. So, but if you have any questions about, and so many shapes to choose from, so excited to work with this company. Let me fix this one. There we go. There we go. It's better. So these, as you can see, they take a little bit of time doing the little swooshes. So with the loaded tea, what other flavors have you tried? I've heard the blue pop or the rocket, what is it? Rocket pop. That one tastes pretty good. What other flavors have you tried? And is there caffeine? There is caffeine because it's green tea. So there's got to be, yeah. The only reason I like this is because I get the protein that I need. Extra protein that I need. Frog spit and watermelon. Okay. But no protein in them, right? But I mean, I'm sure they could go in something. Frog spit. That's hilarious. Is that green, I'm assuming? And then another company, Liquid IV, has... They have Grillo's dill pickles, which is funny as heck to me because we eat Grillo's hot pickles here in this house. And I can't imagine a IV hydration or what is it? Liquid IV? Liquid IV. What a dill pickle hydration drink tastes like. So that's got to be a little different. So I will be doing a mandala love back. And what that is it will be a drawing. And at the end of that period, anybody who participated will be eligible to be in that drawing for the mandala love back. That is located in that top right-hand corner. Haven't decided exactly 100% what that's going to be. It could be like a custom color palette of your choice. I'm open to a conversation about what that should look like, but it would be basically a mandala mailed to you. It would be 18 inches or larger. If you want more information on that, you can obviously message me about that through that orange box at the bottom. What that is going to do is encourage us. Oh, wow. B2, 160. Oh, okay. That's got some caffeine in it. But yeah, so if you want to participate in that Mandala Love Pack, that is in the top right-hand corner. And that would get you an entry to participate in that. Never done this before, but it would definitely increase the community's outreach into TikTok, which is ultimately what we want to do, is get new friends. So, all right. We are going to do some swooshes. Actually, do I want to do swooshes or do I want to do walking dots? I think I'm just going to do walking dots in here. And then look back at doing, and I'm just going to take, let's go up in size. I'm going to take the white, the large end of the white, and the first red, which is the true red, and we're going to do walking dots like that. Now, obviously, in some situations, we will start to run out of space. Like, obviously, I don't have marks here, so I'm going to have to probably switch my tool around and kind of figure out what looks right in here, make it work. And then this one is here, so we can do this one easily. And then same thing over here. Like that. Same thing here. Walking dots are simply that. You're getting a drop of paint, starting your dot, and you're not going back for another dip of paint. You're just walking your dots. I don't count. I mean, you can, obviously, if you want. So this would be about here. So we're going to kind of make them a little smaller if we can. Same thing on the other side. Like that. And just keep, and this is just simply framing that last swoosh. Okay. And then I feel like this is like really short, so we're gonna go a little bit above that guide mark because I feel like that was a little short. Okay. Pretty. I do love this red color palette. Like it's not a color that I would have normally picked to paint with, but I do love it. All right, so those of you that are new, I paint live Sunday through Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern until 10:30ish. Usually we don't usually finish before 10:30. And at the end of tonight's live, or towards like 9, what is it? Pretty soon, in about another 15 minutes, we're going to go ahead and thank you for liking the live. We're going to chat about what we're going to do Sunday night. I open it up to the community to share with me what they think we should do. We also pick what color palette we're going to work with, and I'm going to plug in my phone because it's getting ready to die. There we go. And yeah, so I open it up to the community and we talk about like what we're going to do on Sunday. So, okay. You guys are not very chitty chatty tonight. Everybody is mesmerized, I suppose. All right. We will do I'm actually going to come and do a row of dots. And then I'll worry about what fits in that spot later. So let's see. Probably go with this size, and we will just go around. And I'm actually going to come down to that 5th color. I know you guys can't see, but I'm going to go into the 5th color. And start here. This is the large clear acrylic. Remember, the more you guys chat in the chat, the more friends we get. The more you like the live, the more you share the live, the more friends we get. So any of that really helps get the room out. If you share it, that helps too. All of that stuff. All right, so I guess I need to come like about here. And maybe like a tad right there. I don't usually share out the live because I'm painting, but yes, any of that stuff that you do, you know, chatting and tapping and all that really helps the room. Get out there on TikTok. That tells the algorithm that, hey, people are actually talking over here. But if it's quiet in the chat, then that's why we don't have any new friends come. I know it's weird, but that's how TikTok does things. All right. Oof, I love that red. Love, love, love. There's that on there. Busy. Jessica, I know, right? I can. And you know what? I have no real rhyme or reason. I wish that I had like a system, but I don't. Especially with these bears. And I feel like sometimes things just come to me. Like when we were doing this last night, I'm like, oh, I did the dots, and I'm like, oh, what if we did something that looks kind of like, flowy. And that's how that kind of came to be. But when I do them, I don't, unfortunately, I don't, even with the pumpkin. I mean, I did the dots and that made sense. I outlined the pattern. That made sense. But then the rest of it, I just made these look like pumpkins. I mean, not pumpkins, but you know what I mean? Like, my granddaughters look like apples. I just don't really have a set anything, especially with the bears, because these are new to me. I feel like when there are a lot of patterns that we do like as a standard, and a lot of things come from that. Like when we were doing this one, like, I start with the large center and then I do a few rows of different, I start small and then I get bigger. So that's pretty standard. And then I will look at it and go, okay, what do I want to do? And I'll be honest, when we were doing this one, I had no intention of doing this pattern and having it look like a peacock tail out here. It just ended up like that. Hi, Jen. How are you? Thank you for liking the live. But I never start with a plan. And I know for people that are beginners, that probably is hard because you need, someone who's going to progress you. But what I can say is without a doubt, you're going to start with a large dot in this group and do several dots around that. And then we're going to do either a pattern with swooshes, pattern with walking dots, or a combination of the two. In this case, we didn't do a combination. We did walking dots, a swoosh, and we haven't done a pattern page in a while, so maybe we should do that. Maybe we should spend some time on a pattern page again. Just going through what I've got here. Because we haven't done that in a while. We were doing that. We did a couple, and then we kind of got away from doing that. I Slay It Bay. Slay It Bay. Thank you for the follow. As far as size, I will take the tool and I'm going to put it on the guide mark. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do probably is a bunch of walking dots. So when I look at this size, okay, this is small. Okay, these are small. Depending on how big I want to make the walking dots, this might be too small. So then I'll take and I'll go, okay, well, let's look at this size. That makes sense. Probably need to do a little bit bigger, because if you do, and I'll probably do every guide mark instead of every other. So in the middle, when you come off the center and you come and you start to do your first row of bigger dots, you don't really want to do every guide mark because there's not enough room to do your swooshes and stuff. But when you get out here and your pattern gets bigger, you can do every guide mark now. And you'll see I definitely use these two a lot. These are going to be my first go-to. So this one I tend to do here in the center. And then this one is in my outer ring more. Thank you. Does that help, Tam? I mean, I know I do wing it a lot. And I don't have a rhyme or reason for any of it. Okay. But yeah, so we're going to use, like I said, these two the most. This one for the center, doing every other. And then when we get out here and we have a lot of space, we can go every guide mark with the blue. And in this case, I'm going to start with the number 4 color. Same thing. I want a good amount of paint. And I'm using the guide marks to show me what I need to do. Now, with these and the short amount of paint time, I'm usually not able to top dot. And then this one, I'm going to actually do the dot. Kind of off the edge, because that's where it would be. And then coming in here, it's going to do the same thing. So in these cases where things are going to fall off the edges, let them. Can wipe off the paint off the edge if you want. That needs a little more paint there. See how it's got that little divot? I don't like that. I want it to be a nice juicy dot. Here, same thing. I don't think I need more paint. We're going to just kind of come in and give it a dot. Wipe off the edge. Comes off pretty clean. This one is also the same thing. Pretty much should be about here. And again, I'm guessing. This is all a new thing for me. Okay, that's it. Those are all the bigger red dots. Good. Well, I'm good. Like, yeah, if you guys, I mean, I don't always, again, I don't know what I need to explain unless somebody asks. And unfortunately, because, and you're going to find this, many mandala artists that are doing larger pieces, I mean, at least me, I do not pre-plan my pieces. Like when I started that large one today, I kind of had an idea what I was going to do, but I didn't fully know how I was going to finish and fill in all the negative spaces. Oh, that stuff is so good. All right, so now we're going to do some walking dots. I think I'm going to do the first row with the gold. So using the small end of the yellow, in this case, you're going to walk these dots right around like that. Oh, well, not like that necessarily, but right around the edge. Don't do that. This should always be fun. It should not be stressful. It should be a therapeutic time for you to just relax, not rush. You know, there's probably going to be times where you go to paint and you only have 30 minutes. What size are you doing? Hi, Marianne. No worries. I appreciate you for popping in. Right? I think he's looking pretty. I'm very happy. Again, this is for a very special friend, so very happy. These will probably have some repetition. Just to give you an example, like this was the first one I did, right? I did this live. Okay. It's different, but there's going to be some repetition in here because I'm going to have to, like fall off the edge. Now, this one I did yesterday. I don't think I was live. I think I just painted this one. A little different design in the middle. Don't love it. So I don't, but I'm not giving up on it. What size bear are you doing? Oh, hang on a minute. I need a little bit more than that. There we go. Now, there are people that come on here and they say that they shake really, really bad and they wouldn't be able to do the small dots. That's fine, right? What you're going to do is you're going to modify what you're doing. So if you are shaking, okay? If you're shaking, do bigger dots. Don't limit yourself because of what's happening to you physically. You can still do this. You just have to modify what you're doing. I mean, nobody says you have to do small dots in the middle. Nobody says you have to do it exactly like this. Nobody says you have to choose that size dot. That's just how I dot. That's my way. It's my way or the highway. That is not. And I really, 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 really strongly encourage you to find your own style and not copy others. He's the entire length of the 6-inch. Oh, wow. That is big. So in here, I'm actually going to change to the small end of the pink tool just to get these kind of the right size, right? Because those are small in there. Same thing here. There are smaller dots around the top part. Same thing here. And same thing here. Okay. And then over here, I'll just use a regular dotting tool. So this is a little challenging for that, where you have to like imagine where the dots would be and what size they would be. But other than that, it's not. Hey, Cece. Well, I don't know. Jessica's outlining a bear the size of Texas with white dots. Otherwise, the rest of us are good. Welcome. So, yeah. So, obviously, I'm going to come in here and do something. Not 100% sure yet. Probably swooshes or something. Oh, I don't know why, but she's got some bear over there the size of Texas. All right, so we did that. All right, so I'm going to actually start back here with the first red, the true red, and I'm just going to go with the large end of the yellow and do our walking dots. So one thing I do show here is you're going to come up and do a triangle of dots. Okay? And then you're going to do walking dots. Sometimes, I know for me, what I would do is mine would be lopsided. So doing the triangle really helps them keep that point. So coming up, using your guide marks still, like not ignoring the fact that you have guide marks. Okay? You do your triangle, and then you're going to tap in that first dot and come around. Okay? Well, I can't wait to see it. I am excited. I love it. So making a triangle. This is probably my favorite part of dotting, is where you're just in your own. And the best part is you're not in your mind. You're not in your head going, oh my God, what do I need to do? You're painting, and you're just focused on those dots of paint going down, and you're enjoying yourself. And I mean, hopefully, like I said, you can give yourself a few minutes every day to decompress this way. I know my kids kept me busy, so I'm not, like, I know what it's like to have 3 kids and you're trying to So this dot here is off. So I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to somewhere around here start dots. So I know what it's like. To not have time for yourself. 100% know what it's like. But it is important that we do, otherwise we kind of lose our minds. So this one should go somewhere about here, is what I feel. This is the part that's kind of wonky when you're having to, like I said, try and figure out where they should go when you don't have a full, the full look. Yes. It's this brand right here. Hi, Alino. How are you? Welcome. But you could do this with any craft paint. This just tends to be the brand that a lot of mandala artists use. But not everybody in the world has access to that brand. So whatever brand you have available to you, whatever acrylic brand, I would look into using that. Hopefully that helps you. You're welcome. Anytime. All right, so again, we're kind of like the main dot would be here. The second dot would be in here somewhere. Like that. And then down here would be somewhere around here. And you know how much I love doing offset stuff. Like I love the fact that I can not, like things just aren't perfect. So let's do like that. Those are a little big, but that works. What time do we have? Oh, I guess I should plug in my laptop before it dies on us too. Let's see. All right. How we doing out there? Let's see, who's here? BT, Tam, Jessica, Cece's here. All right, that drink, chat in the chat, because I got to run to the restroom. Chat in the chat. If not, TikTok's going to get mad at us. What happened? I don't know why it says that. What happened? We got kicked off. No, I don't know what happened, but it said my phone, something about phone couldn't charge or whatever. I mean, that's fine. I don't have to charge my phone. That was weird. I don't think you did anything. I think it was on my end. All right. Moving on. So we'll do a couple more rows of walking dots. And I'm not sure. Should I use the large? Actually, I don't know. I think I will do one more row. Yeah, I'm going to use the large end of the white. So we'll come up here, again, doing our triangle like that. And I'm using the second red. And I know you guys can't see sometimes which color I'm using. Remember when I was painting the fish and I told you when Frank sees that I'm going to ask him what kind of fish it was? And, you know, true to form, the man says to me, "Oh, look at that bass. That's a great bass." Like, I'm going to kill him. Like, I know he was joking. I'm like, "It is not a bass." He's like, "I know. It's a trout." And I'm like, "Yeah, what kind of trout?" And he goes, "A brown." I'm like, "I am going to kill you." Oh, he kills me. He's like, "I have been catching those fish all of my life, and I never remember which one is which." I'm like, "Clearly, even a cartoon rendition, you don't even know." Oh, boy. Too much. I knew he was going to do that. He's like, "I don't know." So doing our little triangle, okay? And then coming back. I do touch that dot and then do my walking dots. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. I'm just not really sure what I'm going to do in here. I know I'm going to do a swoosh. Not 100% sure yet. All right. Going around. As we always do. Is there anything? I know. I knew. I know that man. He's very predictable. I know exactly what he's going to do tomorrow, too. Like, it's like, do you know we don't have, I did tell you that. Yeah, we don't have water. Like, we literally don't. So, he's got to work on that again tomorrow on his day off. It's too bad. I told him what to do, but he did his own thing. Men will never learn. Sometimes women actually know what the frick they're talking about. So the guy that he was going to do the work before, and then he canceled him, cannot come out until January. Like, January? Who's going to be working on their wells in the middle of the winter? That's how much he's booked out. So Frank is going to become not only has he become a plumber, but he's going to be an electrician now too. Yeah. So thankfully, and we actually talked about that today, if his dad's house wasn't next door, like literally I can walk, I don't know. So we shoot 20, it's like 100 yards away. Like, I mean, it's literally next door. But if his place wasn't there, I don't know what we would be doing. Like, I literally don't. Because I don't know what we would do. I mean, we joke now because we're kind of like camping. We're prepping for camping. Oh. I mean, we have to go over there and fetch our water. We have to go over there and shower. I have to go over there and wash dishes. So it's kind of we're prepping. But if his house wasn't there, I really don't know what we would do. So we're I'm thankful to have that obviously available to me. And then he also has a generator over there too. So if like we lose power, that's there too. All right. So now we have walking dots. Okay. So each of those sections need to be framed with a swoosh. So I'm going to come in here and frame with that color here. But I think I'm going to use the large end of the yellow. I'm going to try it. So before you guys do it, let me see if it works. Because sometimes I pick too small. I mean, it'll work. It'll work. I'm going to take it off of the Lazy Susan because some of it's wet and I don't want to put my hand in it. So I'm going to actually use like my hand to rest on. So we'll come over here. I'm going to have to hold it down. It wants to move. Like that. Okay. Now I just have to figure out what I'm going to do in there. Obviously I want a top dot. That needs to be a lighter color. We'll be okay. There's a lot worse things that could be happening in my life, honestly. I know I talk about it, but it's not, like, there's a lot of other things that could be happening, and that's just a minor inconvenience, to be honest. So with these swooshes, remember, you're pushing that paint lightly and slowly, not fast. If you try and do it too fast, the paint's not going to flow off the tool. And then let me see. I'm going to switch it to the small end for right here so that the swoosh isn't too big. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of the end of that in there. So just coming in and just slowly pushing the paint till you get towards the end. And then at the end, you can be a little faster so you get that pointy end. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Okay, well, have fun. Have fun. Safe travels to the airport. You're almost ready? All right. Gosh, I cannot. I mean, winter. Summer break went fast. I mean, again, I don't have kids anymore at home, but my grandkids, I'm like, oh my God, they're already like back to school stuff. Yes, you have fun with her. And safe travels to the airport. We will be here Sunday. Remember, Marianne Sunday. Hopefully you can find us. It's so random. I did a pop-up today and she found me today. She's like, you're here. My friend, she is a school nurse. And she, although I don't know, I know across the U.S. everybody kind of goes back at different times. So I don't know. I haven't asked her actually. Been a little selfish with my own stuff going on, but I wonder if she's in Delaware, so I wonder if they're going back too. I know my granddaughter's in New York, haven't gone back yet. Close to going back. Oh, so pretty. Okay. You know what's funny? I was on my friend's live and she's like, all right, I'm going to get off right now. And I've been on, I got to go to work. And the next thing you know, all these people from the FYP started showing up. And she's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, that happens on mine too. I'm getting ready to say goodbye. And next thing you know, there's new people showing up. I don't know why, TikTok does that. Why they don't just keep generating, people to your live. I almost feel like I want to do gold on this one here. I know we did the gold dots. Let's do it. What time do we have? 10? Okay. I think I'm going to just do this last outline with gold. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that right here. Kind of the same pattern that I did here. Same thing. Large end of the yellow. Let's see if that size works. Let me stir up this gold though. Get it a little without that skin on the top. So get that off of there. How you doing, Jessica, with your dots? Oh, yeah, after Labor Day. Oh. Well, that seems late, though. But yeah, that, like I said, it's been so long. Oh, I needed to check on my son. He was supposed to go to the doctor yesterday. I didn't hear. He is wanting to join the military. And he has something, actually, I think I've told you that. He's the reason I became a nurse. But he was supposed to go to the doctor to kind of get something checked out before he went for his military physical, just so he wouldn't kind of get like blindsided. Oh my gosh, this gold is giving me grief now. I should have not done what I did. Let me clean that up. So sketchy at best. I forgot that was yesterday. I didn't hear, but I guess, like, you know, sometimes as a parent of grown kids, you're like not really sure, like, like, do I reach out? Do I let them reach out? Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's awkward. You know, they have their own lives, they have their own children, so it's kind of like, what do I do? Do I just wait to hear? So I will reach out to him tomorrow, because today is Thursday. At the end of the day, I'm a nurse. So at the end of the day, I want to know what's going on, because I'm not nosy to be in his business. I'm nosy because I'm a nurse, if that makes sense. What did the doc say? Yeah, I mean, me too, but I'm like, but then sometimes I kind of get, you know, like I'm doing my own thing, and then I'm like, oh my God, should have reached out. But his wife she usually lets, we have a group chat. So she is like the first one to say, oh, someone, the baby walked today for the first time, that kind of stuff. And then in the group is my 2 daughters. So, but yeah, I'm a little torn, but I just remembered, I gotta reach out. So I'll do that tomorrow. All right, so let's see, not that side. So this one is going to probably come up from up here. Like that. I mean, you have to remember my kids are, he's 30. It's like, I don't know. He's 30. I always feel like 30 is old. He's old enough to reach out to his mama. Yeah, he's old enough to reach out to his mom, but he's also a dude, so he doesn't really reach out like he should. And she's young. I mean, not anymore, but she was. So it's been a growing, the girls though is another totally different thing. The girls are like, Mom, this one has this rash. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Well, what is it? I don't know. It's a horrible picture. But, he has always wanted to go in the military, but she got pregnant and then they ended up, getting married and doing the thing and, he's wanting to do the military thing again. So, and she's, I think at first, she was young. I think, the whole I'm young thing and I don't want to be alone. And yeah, they do. And sometimes, now that I'm in a nurse practitioner program, I can help out a whole lot more than before when I knew nothing. I was a NICU nurse. Yeah. The thing with lawyers is, not every lawyer does all types of lawyering. So, but, she was young and, I don't want to be alone. And I think there was a lot of that, but she's grown up. And so now, I think she understands, the importance of it and how much he's wanted to do it. So, yeah. Now my girl, they're all married now and, again, there are times where I get the message and or the call or the conversation and they're wanting to do things that I'm shocked. I'm like, what is the matter and why is this happening? But, yeah, they crack me up. Very pretty. Okay, so Army. He's going Army. I think he kind of missed a window. Well, he always wanted to be a sniper, is what he wanted to do. Now, mind you, he was born in 95. So during that time, he was also ROTC and all of that stuff. So it was prime time for that whole thing, you know. They're hearing about all that on, you know, Chris Kyle and all of that. Right? Chris Kyle? Kyle, what was his name? Kyle something. Fun. I think you should do it once and see if you like it. I did it. I didn't hate it, but I definitely didn't love it. I went with a friend and very experienced. I just did not love it. But I think you should do it. Like I think if you're thinking about it, you should do it. That kind of thing. All right. What time do we have? 10:19. Trying to figure out what I want to do in this spot here. Don't know. I don't know what I want to do here. That's important stuff, though, CC. That's important stuff. So I hate it when I get to like these points where I'm like, God, I really don't know. So sometimes you just have to stop and like be like, I'm going to look at it tomorrow and figure it out. Like, I think once I top dot these and this might fall into place. Like instinctively, I want to put a texture dot here, which I may, because that's what is instinctively coming to my mind. We'll do gold because I don't have any other color that would go. So instinctively, I want to do a Deserted Bliss drop there, like this. Ah, not like that. All right, so we probably should talk about Sunday. What are we going to do on Sunday? Does anybody have anything they would like to do on Sunday? Hi, thank you for the heart me. Tasha, what did you end up doing with your sea turtle? That one, it's missing. It's still, I think, my thing is, I think the yellow background is really throwing you off. That's all. I'm just pushing these little peaks down. Again, my Deserted Bliss drops are a little old. I've had them since she first came out with them. I think that's all it is that yellow background is got your eyes. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, this stuff is really thick. That's better. I need to try again. Well, you know what I decided that I was going to do is I'm going to finish that large mandala that I was working on. Once I finish it, I think, let me move this out of the way so I don't drop this in there. I'm going to, let's see what I can do here without making an absolute disaster of things. I am going to try and do something very different. Let that adjust in size. Hopefully it'll go up. Let me move this. So what I want to do is, well, I guess it won't go up anymore. No, it won't go up anymore. I don't know why earlier I showed it. Here, let me move this. Let's see if I can get this in frame. I know. That, I know. So what I'm going to do, or I'm thinking of doing, and I'm not 100% sure how it's going to look, but I have one more 18-inch round, and I think what I'm going to do is put this mirror here, like offset, like almost like a undersea, like orbish kind of thing. And then I'm going to do different size sea turtles, kind of swimming along in there. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's my idea. Not sure how it's going to look. I probably will paint the background in like some super very light blue. But yeah, so after the live, I was like, I think that's what I want to do. So yeah, somewhere, I mean, I don't know, like, and then I'll do them as like cluster dots. And then, but I'm not sure how it's going to be finished, like the negative space and all that, but yeah, so. But I got to finish my other one before I can do that. You got to finish one big one before you finish another one, before you do another. All right, everybody. Well, so we don't really have a, oh God, sorry. We don't really have a plan for Sunday. What do we want to do on Sunday? What would you guys like to do? I know, we want to paint. But is there something, oh, that's my regular pencil. Is there something somebody wants to see? Do we want to do another cluster art painting? What do we want to do? There's only, let's see, there's 31 of you. So if you're new here, you get to vote too as to what we're going to do on Sunday. I will be back live Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. He almost looks like a circus clown, like he's got a tutu on. You need something more orderly, okay? Something you can follow. Do you have any stones? What? Right? Doesn't it look like he's got a tutu on the back? And then he's got the collar around the front. Are you talking about the feather? I don't think you're talking about the feather that I painted. So that's something I've always wanted to figure out how people did. And now I figured it out. So I had to watch it in Spanish to figure it out. It said what people that paint feathers don't want you to know. And it was in Spanish. I figured it out. Oh, yes. You're talking about this one. Yeah, I have quite a few. You're talking about this one here. Yeah, that's cute. So Tasha doesn't want willy-nilly. She wants orderly. I mean, do you want to just, should we work on a, oh my goodness. So does that mean you don't really like the cluster dots? Well, your sea turtle, you really you really kind of picked a difficult item. Oh, you couldn't see it? Oh, maybe because it was on the black. Sorry. This? Well, this one, I just wanted to figure out how they actually did it, which I didn't think it was going to be like it was that difficult, but I could not for the life of me figure. They put masking tape on the back of the feather. That's it. That was the hardest part, is figuring that part out. The rest of it made like total sense. I don't know what I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it after that. Now that it's there, but yeah. So something more organized. Got it, Tasha. So that's possible. We want to do a 6-inch round. We'll start a 6-inch round, and then you just have to tell me like what colors we're wanting to do, and we'll do it. Yeah. Exactly. You just have to put masking tape on the back. And then once you do that, you obviously trace, or you don't have to trace your pattern, but then you put down the white and then you paint over it. So look, I have one painted just for you, Tasha. Oh, I guess I should put a little, maybe a little dot right there. I leave, I believe it's the second week of September. So kind of one of the reasons I'm doing a few of these. They don't take forever for me to do, but like I want to get a couple of them done. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so that week I will be gone, and then I'll be back for, I might be back that Sunday. No, probably not that Sunday night. We leave camp Sunday night. It's a long drive. So then Monday, Tuesday, I'll be back live, but then not Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll be doing a lot of hunting. No, not the same pattern. Like this one, I tried to do something a little different in the middle. And then this one looks like this. This is offset. This one is in the center. I definitely like the offset. But no, try not to. I don't want them to be similar. But is there any special color you wanna yeah, I like the offset. Is there any special color you guys wanna see Sunday? We could do fall colors again. Trust me, I have every fall color on my counter. On my desk right now. Coral? Oh. Believe it or not, the only coral I have, these are the two that I have. Thank you for the follow, Luann. Appreciate you. I mean, this is more coral than this one, but at least it's a start. How you doing out there, Jessica? Sure can. Because God knows I got plenty of that color around here. Do I have? Yeah, they're pretty full. I have this one too. I mean, it's called Berry, but I have that one too. Coral with teals. Which one is this? Paradise Green. Choices. We got all kinds of choices. Options. All right. Well, I am going. You're still dotting. You're gonna have to send me a picture when you're done dotting. I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. But yeah, all right. Well, I am going to sign off. I have to get up early and go spend the day with my patient tomorrow. In the meantime, before next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you have any questions or you want to share, CC, Jessica Reed, the outside. I'm off tomorrow. Well, that's fantastic. I get to go to work. Well, I get to go to my patient's house. It's not hard work. I enjoy what I do. I don't enjoy the driving to my patient's house, but I enjoy what I do. Especially when I see them get better. It's quite. All right. Jessica's moving along. She's liking her. Oh, fun. Fun. You're welcome, Aurora Sky. I appreciate you. So you like that color setup? Something different? I'm all about it. Maybe we'll pick something. These two kind of look the same color on the screen, but they're a little bit different. Yeah, so we'll do a 6-inch round and we'll just do our traditional stuff. No, I think we're fine with that. There's a bunch of fairs going on right now around here too. Well, we haven't done anything because we got issues with our water, so we don't do anything. All right, I will see you Sunday. Yeah, everybody have a fantastic weekend. I hope you get to paint a little bit. Oh, yeah, like the 4-H, yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, my boyfriend's boss took this week off for the 4-H stuff. Yeah. It's interesting because I almost feel like some people or some areas expect poor attendance when deer season comes in as well. Because the kids just aren't going to be there. Like, it's just a matter, it's just a fact of life. They're not going to show up. So, they don't get truancy around here, but. Yeah. I mean, we don't really have to worry about that too much. We have a long archery season. So, but those that, rifle hunt, that I think narrows down, their time. So, but we don't really worry about it too much. Although, and when I tell you I can just walk out and there's a rock that I sit on back there, I'm not kidding. Like, I literally can walk out the door and there's a rock that I sit on. So as long as I'm home, I can go sit out there. And so I'm blessed. But yeah, here some kids just do not show up that time of year. And then there's also like harvest season and like sometimes like one of the kiddos that at the school, his dad was a hog farmer. So I guess the way the auction was set up, like if the dad was going to auction, like he wouldn't be able to get the kids. So the kids had to go with him or like there would be nobody to take care of the kids. So like they would miss school for that. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to say goodnight, and I'm going to clean up here, and I will see you all Sunday. And yeah, have a great weekend. Good night. Appreciate you all for being here. Have a good weekend. Night, guys.